There is nothing sexier than a stimulating conversation. Good evening, loves. Good evening. Welcome to Black Love Poetry Serious' Chocolate Nation, where we are all family and reside safely in class and elegance. Tonight, I am your librarian and host, poetess April J. Armstrong at Your Oral Diktion, where an author's written word is orally heard. My incredibly eccentric literary and underground music platform is housed above the library, which is now closed. Thank you for joining me upstairs in my bedroom suite, where my two headlining authors are already comfy cozy with me. So, how many would believe in this phrase? Most important of all, a marriage that isn't formed in heaven and by God's hand always has an expiration date. International best-selling Christian author Sunshine Rodgers is here to discuss this powerful topic expressed in her book, The Ring Does Not Fit. She is kicking this evening off first at 8 p.m., curling up in my oversized chair with her purple pillow. Then at 9 p.m., already here and stretched out on my deep plush couch, is romance, erotic, and fiction author R.K. Renton and her sexy but emotionally charged book, The Sounds of Heartbreak. If you are tuned in, we are live, broadcasting out of Greenville, South Carolina, my quiet little suburb here in Chocolate Nation, on blogtalkradio.com. Log on. Search the show's name, Your Oral Diktion. Another way to listen is dialing the studio line at 516-666-9808. Make sure only to press 1 if you're looking to join the conversation. Tonight, lines open at 8:30 and 9:30 respectively for each author. Now, Your Oral Diktion is sponsored by Tri-State Dental Lab, where you can afford to smile again, serving the Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware areas by saving lives one smile at a time. Also, sponsored by Ajaz Essentials, providing nature's natural remedies that beautify and heal the body, serving the upstate South Carolina in 2 storefront locations and online 24/7 at Ajaz Essentials Store at Etsy.com. Now, I do want to take a moment, as I do at the beginning, to appreciate each and every one of you for listening in online and via the studio line, for taking the time and supporting the authors, music artists, Your Oral Diktion, and the Black Love Poetry Serious Network. Without you being here every week with us, we would not be here. So thank you also to my business partner, Akil Ali, for bringing me aboard as a co-CEO to his empire. I like to think I do have a hand at taming the beast he is, but when it comes to the network, honestly, it's his passion, dedication, and ambition towards the network, his host, his grind. It's just, for me, truly above reproach. So we are equally yoked here at Black Love Poetry Serious Network, where you can be seen, be heard, be dope. It's a love, my black love, accepting of every and anyone. A poem has no color, no limits, no bounds, so I invite you, everyone, to the family. Thank you for listening to Your Oral Diktion, where an author's written word is orally heard. Powered by Black Love Serious, Black Love Poetry Serious Network. Forgive me, I'm nursing a little bit of a little cold here, but no, it is nothing to do with COVID-19. I am perfectly fine. I narrate books, and sometimes my throat just goes, so I am sipping my tea right now, and have to keep a little bit of the air on me because I have turned my closet into a mini booth. That is how serious I am with my game on this, so I have to keep cool when this becomes a little hot box. But, yes, we are here live in Greenville, South Carolina on blogtalkradio.com. Call the studio line 516-666-9808. Press 1 when you are ready with those questions and comments. With that said, I am happy to have the company of another established and talented author on my deep couch with, yes, the big, comfy purple pillow. Usually I have it on my bed, but she snatched it from me because purple is our favorite colors, and I just had to give it to her. So that is perfectly fine with me. I just made sure I get it back at the end of the show. Sunshine Rodgers is an international best-selling author, speaker, and motivator who excels in sharing themes of redemption and love in her books. Sunshine hopes her pages will get her readers passionate about their faith. Her books have been made into audiobooks and translated in different languages. Sunshine has appeared in magazines, newspapers, and live media interviews and is working on her merchandise line, which is available on her website. Sunshine's background is in media, as she has worked in television, entertainment, and the movie industry for over 13 years, clocking into workplaces like the NBC TV network, the Disney Channel, and Triran Pictures. Sunshine is married to a wonderful man who is also an Emmy-nominated TV producer, and this power couple have worked on several local TV broadcasts together. Sunshine has always had a love of the written word, and at 9 years old, started obsessively filling up journals with her thoughts and observations, and quite frankly, she never stopped writing. Sunshine now enjoys her days traveling for signings, author events, speaking engagements, and book tours. Loves Chocolate Nation here in the library upstairs with me, curling up. I do welcome international best-selling Christian author Sunshine Rodgers. Could you please grace us with your oral diction?
At the photo shoot, I seem to naturally grasp what to do, as if I've been modeling for years. I am wearing an incredibly tight one-piece with matching blue heels. I knew where to turn my head, where to look, and what to do next. The lights flash on me, and the photographer screams, "That's great, Alina. Perfect shot." "We have everything that we need," I hear the photographer shout. "Thank you." And as quickly as the lights were shining, it is now dark in the studio, and I suddenly feel alone as tech crews are folding up electric wires, and some are rolling away parts of the green screen behind me. Where is my husband? Where is Josh? Throughout the entire photo shoot, I didn't see him. Was he normally away while I worked? "Great shoot," one man with a clipboard waves at me. "I love that bathing suit," says an older lady wearing headphones who moves past me while pushing a utility cart of electric cables. Another very young lady rushes up to me to ask for my autograph. I pass the food table displaying delicious-looking donuts and pastries that smell so good. My mouth begins to water. When was the last time I indulged in junk food? When was the last time I allowed myself to eat anything? I wander past the outer hallway and down a dark corridor. I head into the back dressing area where designer outfits, headpieces, boas, and shoes are hanging on the wall. Finally, I recognize the familiar face of my husband. Josh is there with the makeup artist, Shelby. Shelby is sitting down and laughing at Josh, who is imitating some pop star. I didn't understand the reference, honestly. But the way they are laughing with each other, the way Shelby has her hand on his leg, the way she is looking at him, did this always happen? "Hey," I announced my entrance into the room. "Josh, we are finished." "Oh, already? That was quick." He looks down at his Armani timepiece. "Quick? It was a 3-hour photo shoot." Well, I didn't notice. I watched him sneak a wink at Shelby, looking at her the same way he did with me just this morning. My heart starts to sink. My fantasy seems to be fading. Well, I guess I'll go in the back and change out of this bathing suit. I wasn't quite sure what to say. Sure. Josh doesn't even look in my direction. I'll be here. I make my way to the back changing room where my clothes are hanging up in a concealed plastic bag from earlier. my fancy laced Gucci dress, 4-carat diamond wedding ring in its case, and dangling gold earrings that I wore to the shoot reminded me of my new life. I certainly felt like Cinderella, all dolled up. Now I feel like I'm just another dancer at the ball, unnoticed by the prince. You must have spent a lot of your time in dressing rooms, wondering about your marriage. I noticed a journal in my purse and quickly pulled it out to read the last entry. March 3rd. I have everything I want. The fame, the stardom. I've reached success others can only fantasize about. I see my name and face on beauty products. It's a dream. The spotlight, I mean. I'm afraid this marriage is falling apart and hasn't been working for years. I suspect all the women he's been with, too many to name. But if I bring it up, he gets mad and even denies it. And if I leave now, I could lose everything I worked for. He made my fortune. He can take it away. For now, I will just pose and smile. But I hate to admit, something is still missing. And this concludes my reading from the book, The Ring Does Not Fit.
Oh, my goodness. I do have to say first, welcome. I am
Thank
so
you.
honored to have you here with me in the library. Are you enjoying my pillow? Because you look like you're not going to give it back.
I'm not. I'm so sorry. I grabbed it, and now I'm all comfy, and it's my pillow for this hour. I mean, I'm sorry. And
Okay.
I don't know. You may not get it back. I'm kidding.
That's fine. That's fine. I have plenty. They're scattered everywhere, as you can see. So yes, I have plenty. It's okay. I'll just be honest to say she's the one who took it. Sunshine Rodgers. She took it from me. But thank you. But thank you for being here. I am so happy that you are here.
Thanks for having me on the show. Thank you. Thank you for letting me borrow your purple pillow.
and you are welcome. First, let me ask, why did you read this particular section?
I think this section describes beautifully what the theme of the book is all about. My main character, Alina, goes through different love stories in the book, and she realizes that she can't find happiness even driving nice cars and wearing designer outfits and having lots of money. And she soon discovers what is most important. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, wow. Yes, because, I was reading because I was reading the book, and it kind of reads like A Christmas Carol a little bit. Scrooge had to find his purpose, his reason. Just like she did. But it seemed for me to even go deeper, because it's something that you can apply to not a fairy tale, but every day. And for me, I haven't been married. I haven't even been engaged. Looking forward to it one day, maybe one day, yay. But for right now, your book was almost like a guide to kind of help me think about or to put in my mind what I should think towards being married once I get there. And I can appreciate the book just for that nature. Because I was reading it, and when I got to the end, it was like, oh wow! Like it almost says to me, I should have realized it, but I was kind of lost in the stories of her different marriages, the way you took her through, and I'm like, wow. So you know what? With all that said, let's let the listeners understand what I'm talking about. What's a little bit of the background behind the book?
So the background behind the book. So it is a very, yes, it has a lot of fantasy elements in the book, but it is a very true to real life story. I am married to a wonderful man, Travis. You mentioned that before, and we've been married for 6 years. And truthfully, I dated a few men before marrying Travis. And this book was kind of therapeutic for me to write, because sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I go into my past and I let my mind wander about, the men I used to date, what could have happened if I had married someone else. And this book strengthened my marriage because it brought me to a deeper sense of purpose. And, it helped me to realize what's most important are the people who are still with you and the people who are right in front of you, right? The ones that you take for granted. That's what I wanted to show. in this book is,
right.
you know what, the people that you have in front of you, they're there as a blessing, and don't go out looking for something else because you're not going to find it.
Right, and that's what it seemed like. It seemed like that was, I mean, it had a lot of principles behind the book. It seemed like I could pick out little nuggets everywhere, even within each individual story. But the main one that seemed to weave through the book was the grass is greener on the other side. Like she just had to have better. She was never satisfied. And through each individual marriage you took her through, she started to bother me a little. She started to rub me wrong. Yes, because as soon as she got into it, you know, she saw what she wanted to see of it. Mm-hmm, but as soon as it was something that it wasn't just conducive to her dream, her overall, this is everything I have to have, it was, I'm just not, I'm missing something. I'm just missing something. And that's what it seemed like. And you know what, just to piggyback real quick, I like I said, I read in the, like you were saying, I read in your bio that you're married to Mr. Travis, and this is for 6 years now. Congratulations. Since it's a true to life story, can you give us a little background on yourself?
I can give some background on myself. You did touch on this a little bit in the beginning, but I have worked in the media, entertainment, and movie industry for over 13 years, like you said, and that field has influenced my writing. Going back, I graduated at the University of Tennessee, got a degree in communications, so I've definitely used that degree to the fullest. And like you kind of said before, I've worked as a production assistant for Disney Channel. I've edited, directed, and scripted internal communications videos for Disney, and I currently work media operations for the NBC network. I've been a director for news broadcasts, and that is how I met my husband. We worked in TV together for 11 years. He was my producer, and I was his director for the same shows. And we were both small actors in the independent Christian movie Pendulum Swings, and now I write books.
Wow, no, that's not too long. Because that's just an extension of your bio. But I mean, it just goes to show everything that you've done, and I can appreciate the fact that you have put that degree to a fullest. Because
I knew what I wanted to do.
Right, because I have a journalism degree, associates in journalism, and a bachelor's in communications. But it took me, I got the associates in 97 and then the bachelor's in 2015. So it was a very big gap. But, I mean, just hearing everything you've done, I admit I'm kind of envious because it's so beautiful the way you have weaved that journalism degree into 13 years of actual field work. Because most, graduate with their degrees and they don't go into that actual field. But, just as a fellow journalist, I am so proud to see that you took that degree and ran and just took off with it. Congratulations to you and your husband for everything you are doing and the strides you are making in the business.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and you know this is too. If you have a passion for something, it's your life's calling. And I was directing shows as a teenager for a cable access show in Tennessee. So, once you find that passion, you just run with it. And that's kind of what I did. And, it's been a fantastic journey. And I love books. So I couldn't help but write, too. So it's kind of a melting pot of all that I can do with things I love. So. That's what I tell my business partner. I started off in print media, and I stepped away from journalism for a while, and coming back into journalism on the radio side, it's like you said, it's a melting pot. It's something I haven't done, but working in the call center for years, I finally realized it prepared me. It prepared me more than I realized. That's exactly right. And you have a great voice. Don't you guys all love her voice?
Oh, see,
I
stop.
love listening to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do. Well, with that being said, we are going to take a quick little break, hear a word from our first sponsor, give everybody a chance to relax, and I'm going to go and search around for some more purple pillows. So stay with us here on Black Glove Poetry Series Network with Sunshine Rodgers, international best-selling Christian author of The Ring Does Not Fit. And we are back live here in Greenville, South Carolina. I am in the library above the closed section interviewing a phenomenal author, international best-selling Christian author, well-deserved of the title, so they must be said because she has worked very hard to receive them. And I must say, after reading The Ring Does Not Fit, her Christian fiction work, again, yes, it is very well-deserved. Sunshine Rodgers, thank you for being here. How are you doing so far?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm enjoying your purple pillow, and I'm having a great time, so thank you. I'm all comfy.
We're still talking about that pillow. I know I'm not getting it back. Not a problem.
I know. I'm sorry. This might be mine.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Usually when people come over, they tell me that they're like, gosh, you have the incense going, you have tea, you have drinks. Your place looks so comfy. I just want to pass out. Oh, I'm sorry. We will have the waiter come by and get your tea. Make sure you place your order in on the next break so we can serve you exactly what you're looking for, okay?
That's perfect. Lovely. Thank you.
Great.
Oh,
now, before we get back into the book, let's tell our listeners where we can find you. I have posted links on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm going to get them on Twitter. But give the listeners some links where they can find you.
Yeah, so start with my website, sunshinerodgers.com. My last name is Rodgers. And Twitter, it's Rider_Sunshine. Let's see, Instagram at author Sunshine Rodgers. Facebook, it's at Sunshine Rodgers Books. I think that's all of it. Yeah, I was going to say there's a blog, but you can access that through the website as well. There's like a blog that you can look at too. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. And don't worry, if you missed anything, everything you sent me is on all three. And if I missed anything, I'm going back to the emails and make sure I'm putting everything up. So we will cover everything there.
You can find me. You'll find me. Don't worry.
we will find. I will make sure they find you. So let's get back into a couple of questions here. Now, I do want to ask, going through the book, you took Alina through so many different marriages for her to understand what was going on. Can you explain about those marriages? Because it was, one was kind of domestic violence, another was a husband who was, we're just going to say had his issues, another had his issues, but it was. Can you guide us through those marriages?
So I do want to reiterate, this is kind of a PG book. So yes, you mentioned domestic violence and things like that, but I never really get into anything too bad.
Not deep dive into it, right? It's just more the alluding to it.
It's implied.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. The implied or the implications of what was going on in this. I want to make sure I'm correct. Okay, there we go.
No, correct. So it is a book that you can read, and like you said, you can get messages, you can get content from without feeling weird or without because it is kind of a drama. It is. But it's also very, it has a lot of wisdom to it, and that's what I really wanted from my book. But to answer your question, yes, it's very, so Alina prays a prayer, and all of a sudden she is living a different life and is married to a different husband, like you said, and she has no idea what's going on, no idea. And yes, at first Alina is caught up in the glitz and glamour of a new life. She has the spotlight, the money, the fame, and she wants it all. She's embracing it. And she's like, Lee, she's married to Lee. She's like, Lee who? We're going to embrace this. She slowly learns that every marriage even in a different and seemingly better context, still reveals problems, and she does become aware that the life she has with her husband Lee was pretty good, and she wants it back. So she didn't really have a choice in any of this. It is a series of things for her to go through for herself, and each story has a different lesson for her to learn and to teach her. And I think that's kind of similar to kind of what we go through, because I think I don't know about you, but I can be stubborn. So sometimes I have to go through the same thing over and over just to learn the lesson. And so I wanted Alina to be like, you know what, you're kind of a stubborn character. You got to learn it all to really appreciate what you have. So.
Right, because it seemed like her guide was telling her until she understood what she was missing. She wouldn't be able to go back. And even every time she went into a new marriage, I love the way you set it up to still have that connection with the journal, one journal entry. It was like just that final journal entry to bring it together, almost like the Butterfly Effect, the movie that I remember when he opened the journal and it kind of took him back. But also, I noticed she kind of regressed with each marriage. She wasn't just Alina, the married woman, but it's like now it's almost kind of like, I'm sorry, I'm a movie freak. 13 going on 30, each count. Oh, Benjamin Button. She's just aging backwards within each relationship, each marriage, and she's learning at such vital points at that particular stage. That the connection was just, like I said, it went far past just being a fairy tale. Yeah. I definitely saw how it weaved in real. Right. And I liked what you said earlier. I think anybody can get anything out of any of this book because it addresses so much. But also I'm hoping that you can see yourself in one section of the book, either it be one marriage or whether it be one thing that Alina realizes or learns for herself. And so I think that's why I wanted to show all different kinds of different marriages that she goes through. Like, can you see yourself in this book? Is there someone that you know in this book? Is there something that you need to learn from this book? So that's why I wanted to not just take it through one different marriage. It has to be a whole bunch of marriages. Right, because you don't learn from just one situation. No, you're going to learn from several, or I hate to say several, but like you said, if at least you have to learn maybe twice before it actually sinks in. Because you're not the only hard-headed one. I'm very hard-headed. That may be a reason why I haven't been married. But at the same time, it's that sanctity that I don't want to just jump into it, and I didn't have a full understanding of it. And where I am now, like I said, your book gives good light, sheds good light on some of that for me. So I appreciate that. Good. I'm happy you liked it. Thank you for reading it. Of course. When I saw you on Instagram, and I was searching for authors because it's not just I want authors that only I like, but I was really looking at all authors from different genres, different platforms, how to find them: Amazon, Kindle, Instagram, and your literary body of work is really astounding. And for the awards, it's just like, ooh, okay, you know what? Let's get back into we're off topic. See, look at you. I digress. Let's pull it back. Okay. I have my tea. We're ready. Good. I'm glad. My green chair. At the beginning, I brought the show in with a quote from your husband out of the foreword. It was, most important of all, a marriage that isn't formed in heaven and by God's hand always has an expiration date. Why do you personally feel the need to have a relationship with, I don't want to give it away, but I guess I should say with JC in order to have a better marriage, with Jesus to have a better marriage? So that's a great question, and I love that question. And I love that you quoted my husband, too. Woo, props.
So I hope he's listening. He may not be listening. He has a show tonight. But
we'll send him the replay link.
I will emphasize this is a Christian book, so the readers will eventually find out that JC is, ta-da, Jesus Christ. Woo, who didn't see that coming? And but he does come in a very normal, ordinary way to teach an extraordinary lesson. And JC, or Jesus Christ, he teaches Alina about love and appreciation and humility. And at the end, and this is another whole nother storyline if you're going through storylines, at the end, this once non-believer, Alina finds a personal salvation with Jesus, and her life and marriage is improved. Her attitude is different. Her purpose is established. And she's found a new outlook, but still being in her old life, So it's almost like a whole new life, but she's still back with her husband, and she loves it. She's so happy. And I believe that JC can have that effect on people. So that's a whole other storyline to follow in that book. It's Alina's journey to her faith. So.
Oh, yes, and we are going to get some more.
Book away.
and that's what I was going to say. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause. Make sure we refresh your tea because you just did receive it. But I want to make sure that everybody is comfortable out there. If anybody needs something else to drink, something to snack on, we're going to check on everybody. But you be comfortable. And everyone, please stick around with us here on Black Love Poetry Series Network, where Black love is all love. But right now, I am here in a wonderful interview with international best-selling author Sunshine Rodgers and her book, The Ring Does Not Fit, available now on Amazon.com. Let's go ahead and get back in to this interview, a little more on the book. How are you doing over there, love?
I'm enjoying my tea, and I still have a pillow.
All right, well, you hold on to it.
Here.
I try. I just want people to be comfortable because when you call in, like I say, first time you call in, you're a guest. By the time you hang up, you are family. So I just like you to be comfortable, comfy, cozy.
Yeah, feel comfortable. Thank you.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, I love it. Okay. We have about 15 minutes before we get into our next author, so I want to get some more out of this book because, we're not going to give it all away. So you know what? Let's change gears.
Okay.
Let's see. I want to change some gears because, yes, we don't want to give all of it away, but we have given them enough to head over, again, to Amazon. Head over to Amazon. Okay, subliminal messages. So, how long have you been writing this particular genre and why?
I've been writing for over 5 years. I write in the Christian genre, mostly fiction works. And I write in that genre because that's the genre that I read in. I read mostly Christian books, inspirational fiction, self-help books. And those books have helped me. They've shaped me into the person I am today. I love those encouraging messages, and they uplift me in my faith. And that's what I want my books to do. I want my books to cause my readers to grow, to be challenged, and to feel good as they read my pages. So,
and especially with this book, like you say, it does make you grow and pay attention. Or should I say, for those who are to receive it, will help them grow and make them and give them a better understanding. Because not everybody comes to this realization. Some people may not come back like Alina did, and they may never grasp that understanding. Because it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but like for me, coming into reading the book, never having been married, wanting to be married, it is a good message for someone like me to think about coming into a marriage. So
I think it's that background kind of warning, if you will, because it's almost like, well, if you don't change or if you don't want to receive it or if you don't whatever, it's almost like, well, this is kind of a glimpse. It's a glimpse, really, of what she's learning and what she's going through. Maybe so you don't have to. Maybe so that you can learn and you can learn from Alina's story. But, it's kind of a glimpse of.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like thinking of my sisters. Learn from their mistakes and don't do the same thing. That way you don't get beat tonight like they did. Okay, perfect.
That's the best
or
way
you
to
take
learn.
that.
Learn other people's mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the best way to learn.
Exactly.
I agree.
Now, if you could write other genres, what would they be if you could write any?
Yeah. So to really answer your question, honestly, the book that I'm working on now, book number 8, tentatively called The Characters Within, is kind of a normal book. It's not a Christian book. It's inspiration fiction, young adult fiction. But it's still a very fun, romantic, feel-good story. So I still want to continue in the Christian genre, but I have great ideas for just inspirational type stories. I'm a very PG person, so all my books are very lighthearted, easy to read, and they contain hopeful messages. So you don't I'm coming to the conclusion I don't necessarily have to keep writing Christian books to share good content and to share uplifting messages. So I will, even inspirational fiction can still say great content and great points, and that's what I want to remind myself, because I will start stepping out of the Christian genre just to challenge myself as a writer, honestly. So yeah, and fiction.
And that's perfect. No, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just going to say that's perfect because, here on this network, it's houses a lot of authors, comprised of a lot of authors and poets and musicians. But when you look back, everything written, it kind of starts with poetry in a way. But for you to be writing outside of this particular genre, like you said, it doesn't take a dictionary to write something where someone has to figure out everything. It doesn't take colorful language all the time. It doesn't take the expletives, the sexual nature. It is how you masterfully introduce that message in a way that it can be captured and relatable. And I was explaining a book to my friend, The Ring Does Not Fit, and I was telling him it's a very well-written, intellectual read.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's
you're
nice.
welcome.
That's a nice review. Thank you. Wow.
it really is. It's not water. It's not saturated with innuendo. It's not full of fluff of extra. It's straightforward to a point where
I get to the point. Yeah.
This is it. Yes, this is the story. It's for her to follow that journey. It's for you to follow her journey of not understanding, even though you may kind of get it before you get there, but it's still just following that journey and getting that understanding. That's like, wow. But the book is very well written, I do have to say. I love the book.
I'm so happy you say that. Thank you. I'm always my own worst critic, so thank you for saying that.
We all are. We all are our worst critics.
We all are.
I do the same thing.
Thank you for saying that. That makes me feel good.
Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. We are actually in our last 10 minutes of your interview. Time has flown so quickly. I'm looking at my questions like I didn't get to ask like half of this stuff, man. This is why. But you know what?
Throw it again.
Right, but it's only reason for you to come back when you drop your next book. So you know what? Before we go, let's get into that a little bit. You're getting a next book dropping.
Okay. Oh, thank you. That's great.
Yes. Thank you. What is the next book that is coming out? And give us a little background on it so we know what's going to happen, what's coming up, what's a little tease. Or actually, we just went over that. I'm sorry. It was the last book. Yes. I'm sorry. The Characters Within. Okay. I'm sorry. See, look at you. You got me so frazzled. I'm looking at it backwards.
I'm sipping my tea. That's all I'm doing. Holding my tea.
Oh, now see, she's gonna blame it on me. You know, they probably spiked my tea. I'm gonna talk to my bartender. But Miss Sunshine Rodgers, she can be found on Amazon.com. I have linked her information onto the Facebook Your Oral Diktion event page. She is an international best-selling author. She has a project, the Creation Project. That is what I wanted to ask about. That is what I wanted to bring up really quick before we got off this phone. Tell us a little bit about it, please, if you don't mind.
So the Creation Project, the reason why you're even bringing that up is because my husband wrote the foreword to The Ring Does Not Fit, and in that book it says, the team that brought you the Creation Project, and that is so true. Me and Travis also worked on the Creation Project together, so we're constantly working on books together. The Creation Project is a historical Christian fiction. Basically, it's the Genesis story told from God's point of view. It starts in heaven, where it was only God and his angels, and his best friend is Lucifer. And it's the story of how God makes Adam and Eve in creation and how Lucifer turns into Satan. So there's a lot of storylines to follow. But that one, the Creation Project has landed on the U.S. and U.K. bestseller list in the categories of religious fiction, short stories, spiritual literature, and fiction, and it is currently translated in Spanish. Proyecto.
Oh my gosh, yes, audiobooks, translated into 4 different languages. She has 7 books that are out right now. Let me just say, God the Father, Jesus the Big Brother, Holy Spirit the Best Friend, Last Night When I Prayed, This Is My Heaven, After You, A Demon Is Always Lurking Nearby, The Creation Project, Helpers, A Rescue Mission, and The Ring Does Not Fit. She is Amazon best-selling title in the U.S., the United Kingdom, and Canada. And this young woman is up to book 8, and I believe heading to book 9, correct?
Oh, I'm using this time, since I'm not working right now, to write the first draft for book number 9. So the book number 8 will be out in this fall, tentatively, and then book number 9 hopefully should be out by the end of this year. I'm making really good strides with it, as you can imagine, just staying at home. So I love to write. Right. Did I mention that?
No, I don't think that came out anywhere.
You're so surprised.
Oh, my gosh. Well, Miss Sunshine, again, thank you so much. If you like to, you have a couple of minutes here. Do you want to let your listeners know again where they can find you, the links? And it is posted on Facebook, the event page, but what better way to hear from the author herself?
Yeah, so my links, my website, sunshinerogers.com, Twitter at writer hashtag or writer sunshine, Instagram at author Sunshine Rodgers, Facebook at Sunshine Rodgers Books. Can I do my little end tag where I say I'm an international best-selling author? Yeah, I'm going to do the end tag.
You should say yes. Go ahead.
I'm so excited to do this end
Platform
tag.
Is yours. Platform is yours. Okay, I'm quiet. Okay.
All right. I'm going to say it like you. Okay, ready?
Okay.
I am international best-selling author Sunshine Rodgers, and you are listening to Your Oral Diktion. Is that anything like that?
Yes, beautiful. I love it. I didn't know if I said it at the beginning. You have a very good voice for dictation yourself, for narrating. I love your voice. It's very clean, very crisp. I'm learning it because I'm from narrating the books. I'm learning what has to be, heard and how I have to sound. So listening to you, it's like, wow, maybe you might want to try one of your own audiobooks. You never know.
I might have to. Yeah, I might have to. A lot of the audiobooks, they hire narrators that sound like me, so it's very, weird. So I'm like, oh, wow, you sound just like me. So maybe I should just kind of dabble a little bit in that. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt.
Narrators are girls. Yeah.
Right. And especially right now, come out the other side of this terrible, terrible pandemic. Learning, having a new skill, a new trade would be wonderful. Yeah. But either way, you're coming out with a new book on the other side. So that's just another reason to schedule you to come back and have another rest on the couch. And you know what? Take the purple pillow. So now you can come back with the purple pillow.
That's so exciting. Oh, my goodness, to get a little farewell gift. This hour's almost over.
You are the first person to take a farewell gift.
You can take my mug.
All right, I'll keep the mug. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are here, you are with me, poetess April J. Armstrong, your librarian with the sexy voice that keeps you tuned in for intelligent conversation. Keep around. Next hour up is erotic romance fiction author R.K. Renton, and I believe my partner in rhyme is here doing her drive-by questioning, Miss Sonia B., best-selling author herself of the Salvant Brothers. So stick around. And again, author Sunshine Rodgers, thank you so much for being here with me tonight.
Thank you. It was so much fun. Thank you so much. Thank you for the pillow.
You're welcome. Stick around, loves. We are here on Your Oral Diktion, where an author's written word is orally heard, hosted by yourself, poetess April J., on Black Love Poetry Series Network, where Black love is all love.